Hey, last week I participated in the Godot Wild Jam 79. If you're unfamiliar, the Godot Wild Jam is a 10-day long game jam that happens every month. You have to make your game in Godot, and you have a theme that you have to follow. Additionally, they have these cards that can add extra limitations to your game that are optional. Overall, I'd say it was a pretty fun experience, although I had some life stuff get in the way near the end, but I want to take you through my process of making a cozy game in 10 days. The theme for the jam was growing, and the additional cards were one-handed, meaning you only needed one hand to play the game, feeling chemistry, which meant including a combining or mixing mechanic, and here be dragons, which meant rewarding exploration off the beaten path. I actually really like these additional cards. At first it may seem restrictive, but I think limitations often boost creativity and make things easier. The idea I decided to go with was a sort of point-and-click cozy game where you create forest spirits by combining aspects of the forest. It matched the main theme because you were growing your community of spirits but also going on your own journey of spiritual growth. It also matched the one-handed card because the only controls would be using the mouse and clicking, and it matched the feeling chemistry card because of the essence combination to create spirits. I thought maybe I could say it matched the Here Be Dragons card too, but I didn't think the game rewarded exploration enough to consider it fully adhering to that card. First thing I did was get the point-and-click movement system working. I actually had a lot of trouble with this portion of the game. I couldn't just have the character walk straight to wherever you clicked, so I had to implement pathfinding. This was a huge pain to try and get working, and I kept going back and forth on solutions. Originally I thought it'd be cool to have multiple layers of the map, but that involved a whole system of changing navigation layers, and I realized that it was just far too much work for the game jam. I also originally planned for procedural generation, but getting the navigation system to work with randomly generated terrain was also too big of a pain to deal with. Eventually I just settled on hand building the maps and baking the navigation polygons so I wouldn't have to worry about updating them at runtime. Once the character could walk around the map, I implemented the actual harvesting system. This basically entails clicking on a rock or tree or something, playing a minigame, then getting resources from it. The code I wrote for this whole system of clicking on something, the character walking to that thing, and then something happening is actually such garbage I'm impressed it works at all. One of the fun things about game jams, at least in my opinion, is that I don't have to worry about writing good code. It feels weirdly freeing to just allow myself to write garbage, unscalable code, so admittedly, I might lean into that too much and write worse code on purpose. All day, every day, I have to write clean code, so just to let loose and write shitty code for once is pretty nice. I don't know, maybe I need a different hobby. Anyway, I got the spaghetti all working together, and the player could harvest essence from the trees and rocks and all that. The idea is that you get essence from harvesting the stuff, and then when you have 8 of an essence, it turns into one aspect. You then use the aspects to create the forest spirits by combining 3 of them. I originally had this idea that the different forest spirits would look differently based on the aspects you used to create them, but I just ran out of time to implement the art and all of that. The game jam started on Friday, and the Thursday after that I was going out of town. I also had a ton of work for my day job that week, so I basically just had way less time than I would have liked, and I had to cut a lot of ideas. Because of that, the forest spirits ended up just being these cute little chicken things, which I think is fine, honestly. They're nice to look at, and once the minigame thing worked and the aspect combination thing worked, there was an actual game. I then started on music. I felt that an important part of the game was the atmosphere, so I wanted the music to be nice and the ambient soundscape to be relaxing, so I spent a good amount of time on the music and sounds. The music I wrote is actually supposed to be dynamic and morph and change as you played the game, but of course I didn't have time, which is kind of a shame because I liked the music I wrote. I had a bunch of different layers that were supposed to come in and out, but I wasn't able to implement it. I last minute created a few more mini games, and then I built the rest of the islands. I also implemented a simple progression system where you have to create enough spirits to unlock a recipe, and then you have to make that recipe to unlock a new island. A kind of fun additional thing I added was these recipes and unlocks sort of follow the Noble Eightfold Path, which is a concept in Buddhism. I just thought that was kind of a nice tie-in to the theme of spiritual growth and all that. After I had the unlocks working and all the islands built, the game was basically done. If this is inspiring you to get into game dev and you want to learn how to code, I think a really good option is the sponsor of today's video, Brilliant. Brilliant helps you get smarter every day with thousands of interactive lessons in math, science, programming, data analysis, and AI. Brilliant is designed to be uniquely effective. Instead of just memorizing stuff, each lesson is filled with hands-on problem solving that lets you play with the concepts, a method proven to be 6 times more effective than just watching lecture videos. Their courses on math help me brush up on my math skills, but I really think their programming courses will be super helpful if you're trying to get into game dev. They have courses on Python, which is similar to Godot's Godot's scripting language GDScript, but they also have courses on thinking like a programmer, which I think is even cooler. To try everything Brilliant has to offer free for a full 30 days, visit brilliant.org/landanddevelops. Scan the QR code on screen or click the link in the description. You'll also get 20% off an annual premium subscription. Overall, I think the game is okay. I feel like the idea is really solid, and if I could have executed it better, it would have been a really strong entry into the jam. As it stands now, I think it's just alright. I'm a little bummed I wasn't able to give it the time it deserved, but that's just how life goes sometimes. I think overall it was a good experience, and I'm glad I did it. The game is live on itch right now, and I'll put a link in the description if you want to play it. I'm considering taking the game a bit further, polishing it, and adding a bit more gameplay to release it as a free little short game, but I'm not sure yet. To be honest, the reason I made a cozy game is because I was hoping it would help me cope with some severe burnout I've been experiencing. I think the only real solution though at this point is just to take a break, so that's what I'm gonna do. With my full-time job, YouTube, game dev, and all the other stuff in my life, I feel like I'm burning the candle at both ends, so I'm just gonna simplify everything for a little bit. That probably means no YouTube videos for a little while, but I'm not canceling TRS or anything. I still plan on finishing that game this year, but I think I just need to chill out a little bit. I'll be back when I'm feeling better. Anyways, thanks so much for watching. All the nice comments I get do genuinely motivate me to keep going, so thank you so much for that, and I'll see you next time.